So for FlyQuest, we are starting at the bottom of the gauntlet, meaning we have to beat 3 consecutive teams in a best of 5 in a row, day after day after day, for us to qualify for Worlds. And if we succeed to do that, the day after, immediately after we win, we get to go to Korea. So it is going to be a very busy week, and I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds easy enough. Been done before.
Gotta like the confidence. I mean, he's not even saying if we win, we go to Korea. He's saying when we win, we gotta go to Korea. I'm looking forward to Korea.
This is what is on our plate. Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of FlyQuest versus Team Dignitas. FlyQuest has selected blue side after their first win on blue side to start things off, and a pretty fantastic win at that, starting out early, understanding there was a scaling composition on the side of Dignitas words. And they shut that down as soon as they needed to, right before it got online, around 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they played pretty passively, besides the one really dive on the bot side early. It was a very passive first 20 minutes, which made me a little bit worried for them. But as you say, they picked their moment, and they actually were able to pull off those plays and push the pace of the game just enough. And I think that their play around Baron was actually pivotal in this game to be able to take Ssumday away from the side lanes where he could, had built for the 1v1 against balls and could have actually exploited that. He never got a chance. Every single team fight, it felt like Ssumday comes in, has no MR, dies instantly, and he just was nowhere really to be seen. So I think that this was intelligent play, both as far as the builds. Balls didn't build for the 1v1. He built for the team fight. He forced Ssumday into the team fight. Like, this is very smart and well-executed play from FlyQuest.
I was actually just going to mention him as he walks back out onto stage to take his seat. What a game from him on that Rumble, and kind of flying under the radar when he did too. You said, wait, he's 3-0-3, but remember, as you said in the beginning, he was the catalyst for the first teleport play, soloing Ssumday out of lane. So much happened in that top lane for FlyQuest last game, and it flew under the radar. Yeah,
I mean, Balls sometimes very quietly is getting these big advantages for his team. He's been playing very, very well for the team, not building for the 1v1, staying even in farm. Yes, he had to give up a turret here or there, but he was able to force the plays and actually was massively more effective than Ssumday in this game, especially in the team fights. So we'll see if Ssumday goes for this style of play, or if Dignitas can actually play better around it and kind of buy time and buy space for him to actually create those plays in the side lane.
We'll see what the preference is as we hop back into Champion Select in just a few seconds. Jarvan the Fourth was that first priority pick here on the side of FlyQuest. After that, it was a few of the AD. Actually, no, it was not their ADs. It was their jungler and top lane to start off.
We'll have to see exactly what they want to go for. If Dignitas is actually going to mix up any of the bans here. So far, it's the same 2 bans from game number 1. Dignitas has the option to actually drop one of these picks and ban away the Jarvan if they want to go for that, if they're concerned about it, because the Jarvan was a very key component. The Jarvan allows the Rumble to get a very good equalizer, allows the Galio to have a very good target to actually follow up on. For FlyQuest, they may just go for what already worked, but there's already some adaptation here from Dig. The Rumble was a big reason that they succeeded so much. So they're going to try to take balls off of this team fight monster of a champion and see if they can do something better with it.
Pretty consistent from the side of FlyQuest. They know what they do not want to play against. As you said, Dignitas with that Rumble. Now the Jarvan, Dignitas knows what they don't want to play against as well.
Yeah, so now FlyQuest has to do a different first pick. They could go for something like the Rakan, which is very highly prioritized. If you go for Rakan, there's obviously the option for Altec to try to break up that combo and steal away another piece. So there are a number of options here. You can go for Gragas, you can go for things like Zach or Rakan. Even we have seen some Lucian first picks, so they're going to go actually straight to the Xayah, which Turtle was very, very successful on last time. And they're kind of daring Dignitas to try to take the other piece of the combo. Otherwise, they will very likely complete that duo in the second round of the first.
The way Dignitas has been scaling, we might seeing this late game Sivir bounce around in there, running around with these giant tanks. Won't have too much damage like you would from a Kog'Maw, but still a possibility.
I mean, Sivir is a very scary late game carry. And one of the things that's really interesting about Sivir, particularly as one of those hyper carries, is Sivir can access the backline while hitting the front line. Because of the ricochets. That is something that is so strong about the champion and quite unique to it, because while Kog'Maw can shred frontline, Sivir can be killing your AD carry by hitting your tank, and that is something that especially works very well with divers, but this is another champion who can do similar things, can access that backline because of the extremely long range with the Twitch ultimate.
Yeah, there you go.
So going back to scaling here again, we could see the Rakan come into this, though. I mean, Rakan is certainly someone who really can threaten that Twitch, who can get back on the Twitch, combo up with someone like the Galio. So, although you don't have the J4, if you have a Rakan-Galio combo, that can be very, very powerful.
I feel like the Rakan pick as well denies a lot of what Twitch brings to the lane. You can play in a lot more reckless positioning if you're a Rakan, or in that you just jump away from the flask instead of get caught up and destroyed early game. Yeah,
that's certainly a good point, but they are going to go straight forward. It is the Rakan. It is the Xayah. This is much more of an aggressive early lane. It's going to be up to Dignitas to more survive through this. We'll see if they want to go for their support here, because you definitely want to be having a strong support to actually get Twitch through those early stages. And Thresh would make some sense. You might say, hey, why not Janna? Because Janna can protect you very well later, but you have to actually get to those stages, right? And Thresh offers some threat to Twitch in the early lane because you can set up ganks with the hooks and the lanterns, and you can actually have a lane that doesn't just have to give everything away, because there is the idea that you could get a kill back.
All right, Team Green for the bot lane on the side of Dignitas. Let's see what they decide for bans now. LeBlanc will stay on that list. What else, I should say, will be banned from FlyQuest?
And they could go back to some of the first round bans that they actually did skip, so the Lucian is still on the table. If they're concerned about this getting flexed to top lane, I'm expecting Galio to go mid, so very likely we will see jungle or top focused. But it is interesting that they are still giving the respect over to this Galio pick as a flex, because most teams are just saying Galio is mid by default now. Dignitas is not. They're still banning LeBlanc, and they could still go for something like a Lucian if they really are worried about high.
I always remember that being the kind of thing from Cop Insane. It was like, we are the flex masters. We flex everything. And they were good at it. Coming up with compositions they could flex throughout Champion Select.
They've also been one of the teams that really has put a lot of stock in the solo queue meta. Not just emulating what the other teams play. They're one of the first teams to actually jump aboard the tank jungler train, bringing in things like Nunu, bringing in things like Sejuani, Cho'Gath, Maokai, all these monster tanks that some teams were more hesitant to actually pick up. They put a lot of faith in what is good in solo queue is good in professional play, as long as the team knows how to play around it. And to their credit, they have actually had a lot of success with those style of champions.
And Renekton will get locked in. That style of champion, you could say, it teeters on both of those playing worlds.
I mean, Renekton is just so lane dominant that it can work in both scenarios, right? Obviously, very effective in pro play, very effective in solo queue, and it's something where there's not really many bad matchups for the Renekton. We'll see how Ssumday is going to be able to manage this lane. This could be Maokai top. It could still be a Maokai jungle. Obviously, FlyQuest is going to have to pick their last pick right after it, so we will very quickly find out, unless they want to do something like a double flex and move it around based on what they think the best matchup would be. But I mean, Maokai is certainly a champion. Wow, Nidalee. That is not something I expected. Nidalee has not been seen actually for quite a while.
But this is what you would almost expect from FlyQuest in a gauntlet style situation. Going for everything and leaving nothing on the table as they get back onto the rift. Beautifully done in the champion select. Is it going to be Corki for Keane? He has actually had quite a strong showing on this champion and can start to control his lane, keep that farm in his favor, and then actually go from side to side. You don't really get countered in this. It's that mechanics matchup for him. So he should be able to fare a lot better this time.
Yeah, certainly we'll see if he can pull anything out. But this is actually the first 7-16 play in competitive around the world for Nidalee, so that is pretty crazy. There was a couple plays on 7-15. Mike Young actually brought it out a couple times, but certainly has not been something that has been a very popular pick. Only in NALCS in the last 2 patches was it seen in the promo tournament from Mike Young, who's kind of known as a Nidalee specialist. We'll see how well he can actually play this pick. One of the things that does work well in his favor, though, is both his solo laners have strong gank assist and have a good way to actually set up an almost guaranteed spear. If you land that Twisted Advance on the Renekton, he's held in place. You can land that spear from Nidalee. Likewise, you have the taunt, you have the Justice Punch from the Galio to perhaps set up a similar style play in the mid lane, and we'll see if they can actually pull that off, because I do feel that Nidalee needs early game success to actually stay relevant in the later stages of the game, because it's very hard to be effective in late game team fights.
Maybe this is we see Shrimp gets a little bit more help from the lanes if they can push. That's kind of inherent with Corki and Ssumday on the top side of Renekton. They should be able to win those and maybe give him a little bit more pressure. Awesome composition from Dignitas and FlyQuest here. We should have a lot of good fights. Hashtag DigWin, hashtag FlyWin, as we're about to be on the Rift for Game 2. Same sides here to start this game. FlyQuest on the blue and Dignitas on the red.
And this is FlyQuest with their side selection going right back to blue. Dignitas had side selection in game number 1 as the higher seed, so both teams happy. They like the side that they had been given. And looks like FlyQuest is going to be spreading out, playing line of scrimmage style early on. We're going to have to really track how well FlyQuest can actually do in the earlier stages of the game. While they don't have a bad composition later in the game by any means, I do think that Nidalee can struggle to get involved. And this is actually a 5-man invade from Dignitas, and High needs to back off. Interesting that Adrian does not actually elect to go for a hook there.
Noticed that.
You know, he could have perhaps forced out a flash or threatened to force out something like that, but he just wants to hold on to his actual skill point, maybe not thinking that they could get a kill even if he did hit it. But FlyQuest has set up a level 1 here on the other side. They're actually stacking saplings, and if anyone face checks this could be somewhat problematic. Strip does not know that the saplings are there, so they still could go for this sort of play, and Nidalee going to be sneaking around here, trying to harass. And they're kind of stuck going for this sort of play now, because Moon didn't actually start traps, so he did start Spear, and he's going to have to go for this invade. It feels like they are pretty committed.
Let's see if Dignitas does anything crazy early.
This
3
is
Doran's Blade for them as well.
Yeah, very
so
aggressive.
if they get in a fight, they could do some good damage.
Yeah, I mean, Ssumday going straight for that. He wants to win lane. He wants to be bullying. This Smite fight is going to be insanely important. If Moon gets pushed back to his side of the jungle, level 1, no leash, that would be devastating. Keane's actually coming up. This could be an all-in fight, and Shrimp got the kill.
And they're going to get the bounce on him, too. The hit to Moon goes down. Doran's Blade damage, baby, coming up with the first kill there. And what an aggressive intro, or start by FlyQuest.
That was so bad for FlyQuest. This has gone really terrible for them. Balls is going to be sent back to base at level 1, if not losing his flash here. I mean, the Q is going to come back up. He's going for the kill.
Oh, God, Ssumday's a god. Oh, he gets himself out alive. The level 1 flash under the turret. And the flash from Balls was blown earlier, knowing that. Let's see it all again.
And this is all about the kill on the red buff. Shrimp getting this kill means he gets level 2. Means he actually gets level up. Another fight on the bot
coast
side.
To coast fights across the board. Altec going down. The shots are coming in. LemonNation picks that one up with the Ignite. Shrimp going to go back over the wall. Now Dignitas is getting a little sketchy in their plays, and he had to flash himself to safety there as Moon almost gathered that red buff right back up.
I mean, that is a level 1 Nidalee chasing down the Greg. He can't even get over the wall. What's he going to do? So Shrimp gets bullied out. Either way, Shrimp got level 2. That gives them the massive advantage in that team fight on the top side. And Moon going down, plus a kill on the top side. I mean, this was already a bully lane. And then on bot side, Altec stepping forward here. Gonna guess LemonNation actually does, he gets so much damage down on him. With that level 1 W, the attack speed from Xayah is actually given over to Rakan as well, so not enough respect shown to the power of that lane in the first level. And Altec actually dying at level 1. I mean,
actually a quick flip on the
3
summoners
level 1
too.
kills.
The summoners Ignite in the bot lane. They're for both, so they expected that kill pressure, but that was heal we saw last time from Lemon and Turtle. Much more passive, and they go hard this time. But yeah, 3 kills already. It was under 3 minutes to start things off.
Definitely some messy play from both sides.
Indeed.
When you have 3 kills at level 1, but one thing working for Dignitas is the fact that all 4 summoners are down for FlyQuest. So you do have double summoners up for Thresh, and you have a Gragas who could be lanterned in. You could look to try to punish them. FlyQuest is going to want to try to play relatively safe until their summoners come back up, and we'll see if they can do that, because if so, it's definitely a good kill for them. And top side, things could get a little bit messy from Balls, who's already going to be in a losing matchup early on against this Renekton, who now started with the longsword. And if he gets dove, he has no teleport available, so it would be devastating. And it's looking like they're trying to set that up, or at least be in position for any potential counter gank. that could be needed if Nidalee were to come in.
Full health bar, so he can use Ruthless Predator with that charge.
They're going.
Fury, get the extra little bit of stun and damage in there. What do they start with? There's the Fury, stunned up, body slam, now onto balls, no flash, twisted advance, almost got out with Ssumday's distance there, but now he's gonna get pushed up top side the turret, eventually get taken down.
Yep, a nice dive. They're actually barely able to get outside of the turret aggro. So as the twisted advance came in, somebody was already outside of that range.
Right.
The balls would have needed to have a better time twisted advance to try to dodge some of the CC. If you could actually use that to dodge a body slam stun or something like that, then maybe you could turn that around. But a little bit of a risky dive, but now Balls is pretty much screwed. I mean, this is an 0-2 no teleport Maokai who's losing the wave, which means that his wave is bounced on the turret. It's going to stack up and push towards Ssumday,
right,
who has his stage completed, pushing, and then could either freeze the wave or threaten another all-in. So Balls is in such a horrible position, and the worst part about it is that because his jungler is also behind, Moon can't even go up because they can't win a 2v2. So everything really working very well here for Dignitas. For FlyQuest, it's going to be very much about the bot side, who had that 2v2 outplay and is going to have to maintain an advantage or extend an advantage there if they want to keep their hopes alive.
So quick upgrade for LemonNation after that kill to get a little more gold from his coin. Adrian and Altec still yet to back, other than having that instance of death in the early game.
One of the other things that makes it really hard as a Maokai when you fall behind is your last hitting from range is all AoE, so you continue to push the wave even more. You want to use a Q to last hit, you're probably going to hit other minions. You want to use that E to last hit, same story. So
Twisted advance it.
Ah, there you go. Just twisted advance right in for that last hit. That's the strategy we've all been missing.
That percent health, you sure to secure it.
Feels bad, man.
Fury up. Gets balls below half HP, and that's a level 6 Ssumday already.
Yeah, Shrimp just has to play around topside because there's no way that they lose a 2v2 unless they play it catastrophically bad, and they're going for the dive right here. Ssumday level 6.
Moon tagging the fire. They feel like they can do that. Yes, since Ssumday is 6, they go for Shrimp, and they did not expect that to happen right away. Ssumday gets out, but the shutdown does go to Moon.
Yeah, but still, I mean, they give over a shutdown, but this is still so good for them because once again, the wave is crashing. He's losing all this experience. He's falling further and further behind, and somebody's going to be able to exploit this matchup so well. But still, Turtle and LemonNation, that is the hope for FlyQuest. They're doing great on the bot side. Here's the play again. That's a level 6 Renekton. They can set this up. Balls did a great job with his twisted advance, as we talked about in the first dive. He gets away from that stun, from the Renekton, so that Shrimp was already taking damage when he gets rooted up, and they at least get a trade kill, and they force some summoners out, but it's really, really, really rough for the top side of FlyQuest.
And it almost means Moon has to keep going there or put it on an island and say, hi, can I get you going so you can hit Turtle and LemonNation?
I think it's time to amputate Riv. Cut off the limb to save the body. WildTurtle and LemonNation are doing well on the bot side. You just pretend that there is not a top laner on your team anymore. You mute Balls. He's pinging for help. Just mute the pings too. No problem. You go up to the top side. Never again. You play around your bot lane.
Give him a few wards. Throw him something. And then head for the advantage. Where could that be? We see Moon now making his way towards the bottom side. Looks like he'll be able to hover here for a second. He has Raptors if he decides to go for Krug. Shouldn't have his buffs for a few minutes here, so they have some time to work out of the jungle. Actually, he heads back towards the top side. They are going to keep continuing to focus Balls in his lane. That turret's going to be going down quite soon. Now LemonNation and Turtle are going to have something to say about it.
Yeah, they're going to make the play to actually rotate their bot lane to top. So they're trying to take their strength and attack Ssumday with it. If they can get these members up there, Maokai, even from behind, does still add a lot of gank assistance. They have spotted out the Nidalee now, I believe, here. And we'll see if they can get baited into a play. But they now know the bot lane is up there, so they can respond. And as long as they can keep the Renekton in that 1v1, they're going to be able to get advantages.
Pretty irregular for that wave to crash in the bot lane. Altec and Adrian had pinged that, hey, these guys are missing. Oh yeah, it's a swap. Ssumday's going to do that long walk down towards the bot side, and he's going to have actually quite a nice wave built up when he gets there for himself.
Yeah, certainly will. But still, I think a smart move from FlyQuest.
Yeah.
Because their bot lane is quite ahead, and Renekton doesn't want a 1v2. He wants to be bullying. He wants to be creating those advantages. And the lane, as you said, is pushing towards him, so they're going to try to utilize his strength to get advantages elsewhere. They know, no matter where they are, no one can 2v2 them right now. So they're just going to use this to take away the red buff. And now Balls is back in the no fun zone in a 1v1 with the lane pushing against him.
It's just a break.
Yeah. He had a brief break where he's got to walk back from base, and he's like, I'm safe here. This is nice.
This is great. I like this.
But unfortunately, it was not to be, Riv.
Nope. Ssumday the bully back to lane. He's also getting a little cover from Shrimp on the top side there. He has the vision, but we saw the turret not stopping the engage earlier, so the vision's not going to help too much right now.
They're looking for another dive. Gragas is down here, and the pain is going to continue.
There it goes. Dominus on immediately. Nature's Grasp for just a few seconds as he gives back a hug. And they use him as their scratching post to get this one out. Shrimp comes up with a kill on that one. Nice guy, Ssumday. Just saying, that's yours.
I mean, Balls played it pretty well. Maybe you could say he could have tried flashling, but he hits both of them with his ultimate. He gets the root down. He gets them both low, but it's so easy to juggle the aggro when you are so far ahead and when you have that Renekton ult. So they're actually trying to force a play on top side. FlyQuest are going to be playing to their strength. They've just kind of said, sorry, Balls, it's going to be that kind of game. Yeah. And they're going to be rushing for the turret. Balls actually going back down there. These are low health bars, so they can't redive, and they're going to get the first turret.
They want to try to get high in on this fight. He's rotating down towards the red. He says maybe not the fight. They're going to get out in time, so we don't have to chase. And Keane is also on the roam. Balls picks up the vest right away, trying to shut down Ssumday. Get that grievous wounds on so it can't be a big croc. You see it right there, and it's now playing a little bit of a part in his engage in that lane.
Galio is actually coming down, and Ssumday is going to have to flash here. We'll see if he can actually get out.
Looks like one flash for a dive in. Keane just pulled out a lane for a second. More here. But Ssumday going to go heal back up and start bringing the pain again.
A little bit of overconfidence for him, though. No real reason to actually be fighting that aggressively when you're at about 30% health. You have no ult, and you don't really have that much innate sustain because you are fighting up against the Bramble Vest. So when you put that grievous wounds on yourself, your Q is going to be reduced, right? He probably should have just based, maybe feeling a little bit stronger than he was. Still now goes back, picks up the Tiamat, picks up his Merc Tread, so he's certainly going to be very, very powerful in the 1v1, and we may see him go for more of a split push style build again, as he did in game number 1, and then it will be up to FlyQuest to see, can you actually force team fights?
And we actually saw there on the screen, Ssumday with that advantage in the top lane and the deficit for the bot lane. Focusing still on WildTurtle and LemonNation for FlyQuest to continue to bring the pain in this game. Turtle now in his second Xayah.
Oh, here comes Ssumday.
Game of the series, and now he could be going down for the first time this game. Featherstorm is out. Flashes for Altec, stun! He's gonna go one for done in this. Turtle looks like he's gonna go ahead and dig himself this one. Beautifully done.
That was actually sick from Turtle.
Yes.
He actually trades up in summoners. He spends just the flash, gets the flash and heal from Altec, as well as the teleport from Ssumday. So Turtle doing his best to carry this game. Also buying time for Balls on the bot side. So really an excellent series from WildTurtle here. And that is what you get when Turtle is at his best. Yeah. Big plays like that. Ways back into the game.
See what he can get from that. The critical cloak purchased up, so very close to having his Essence Reaver built up, and we'll see this again. Just understands the situation and picks the best route out.
Exactly. He's saying, well, there's no way I'm actually getting out with my life. Can I get a kill? And he follows with the flash to set up the pullback, landing the root there, and his last auto killing off Altec. So good.
I like the walk-in too. Yeah, I know, guys. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really smart, right? Ssumday was the other way, so don't feed the Renekton.
Right.
Give that kill over to the jungler or to the Thresh, and that's not where Dignitas wants it, right? So not only does he get the kill, not only does he get the summoners, he gives over a kill to someone who doesn't really matter that much.
Got it. Mark it. Good play. 13:40 on the clock here. As a bit of light shining from both sides. Still 7-3 in favor of Dignitas. Top lane now between the solos. And we're going to get a bit of dragon pressure from FlyQuest.
The gold advantage is very small from Dignitas, though. As much as we talked about how badly the top side is going for FlyQuest, equally so, FlyQuest bot lane is smashing right now. They're doing very well. And if Balls can just stabilize and turn this into a farm lane, they're going to be looking really good because they got the first turret. They knocked down another turret as well with some pretty good use of that Rift Herald. And all Balls has to do is survive because he will be useful in team fights, and a Twitch who's way behind will not.
That's, again, that confidence we pull back to. Will you be able to kind of just hold that base level of play, hold that lane, and be safe? Here he can just walk back to the minions. It's fine. Someday he knows this is going to happen for the next 10, even 15 minutes to 30 in the game before they can really start using him as that Galio entry.
Yeah, exactly. So it does feel like he has to push the pace, right? And and sometimes when you do go a little bit too aggressive, when you are pushing the pace, it can get capitalized on, right? You can step a bridge too far. You can get CC'd under that turret, have a dive turned around, which would be catastrophic because that's where so much of their lead is, you know, in Shrimp and Ssumday.
The pew pew pew. Keane trying to hold down mid. Not too big of a discrepancy in CS there. Just the top and the bottom for now. Shrimp and Moon have been quiet since the early game as we had quite a back and forth. We're waiting now as the objective is going to be coming up.
And Moon definitely like farming it out, trying to stay relevant here. Certainly quite a bit behind Shrimp, but at least it's not catastrophic. He's staying somewhat relevant in the levels. He's trying to get his farm up, and we'll see how much use he can be in the team fights as they're trying to make a collapse on the FlyQuest bot lane here. But FlyQuest is kind of chasing after them.
He's got turtles on that side. They're gonna
Galio coming in, and this
dive up, right back to Adrian, stopping up the crowd control. Moon's trying to get to safety as Keane follows. LemonNation and Fly high are a little too deep. Great flash by LemonNation to get out of the fight as now they're focused on Ssumday. They gotta watch the flank from Keane. A good hit, the flash twisted advance onto Keane. Slow from the Bramble smash and the cut down. As Moon scratches for the eyes. Now they're on to Ssumday. Looks like he could get hit. Oh, the javelin does not get through. Eagle Eye Moon just missing by an inch. Dignitas get out. That was a scrappy fight, 2 for 1.
FlyQuest advantage, though, they actually get 2 kills, and despite the fact that Ssumday has this massive lead, he's not able to be as effective. He's going back in for the kill.
Turtle taking quite a bit of damage. This is when things get crazy. Hard shell on! And Turtle waxes the competition.
Barely able to survive there as Turtle, and that was the flash down from Ssumday as well. He actually had the option to take a lantern out from Adrian. He feels the pressure to make a play there as the man with a big advantage. Not able to come up with it, though.
Altec cleaning out the wards with the team here. Let's see this fight one more time. So back and forth and so extended.
I mean, Turtle, great positioning. The Galio comes in protecting him. Look at the damage he's getting out. He's basically untouched. And then Keane, he's kind of segmented off on the side. Altec does not have the damage to actually finish anyone off and punch through here. So the retreat is forced. And look at how effective Balls was, despite the fact that he is very far behind. He sets up for Moon to get a kill. He had zoned off the rest of the members with a good Maokai ultimate. So finding his effectiveness on this powerful team fighter, despite a big disadvantage. And FlyQuest are looking really good.
Patience is a virtue. Takes time.
And then this has got to be so frustrating. I mean, Ssumday makes the choice. He's thinking this is a one-way trip, but he's thinking, I will kill Turtle, and that will be the trade, right?
Right.
Which, even still, is it worth giving up the shutdown? I'm not sure. But it doesn't even go that way, and now they're trying to chase down Balls, but he may be out.
Now he has the Spirit Visage and the Glacial Shroud. He's kind of hard to kill right away. No more dives on this guy, and he can get out of these sticky situations here.
And that's what we said. All he has to do is survive, right? If he can stabilize, he doesn't have to win the lane. He just has to stay somewhat relevant, and he's doing more than that. FlyQuest making great plays around the map, and this bot lane performance from them is honestly so good, and this is something that you needed to see out of FlyQuest and that had been missing for a lot of the year.
We wondered what was the unexpected in the past few weeks. What have they come up with? And it seems like kind of going back to the old. Starting at that ceiling and feeling like there's kind of nothing to lose in this gameplay because they are pulling the trigger like they used to.
And it's got to feel so good. You know, they talk about trust, right? Moon saying he knows that his teammates have his back no matter what's happening in the series if we're behind. And this is what you're seeing in these games. Game number 1, it was Balls having an amazing game. Game number 2, very clearly, things went awful from level 1, right? But the bot lane is there to pick up the slack. Turtle and LemonNation getting a level 1 kill of their own gives you that confidence to say, hey, you know what? Things went bad on the top side, but we will trust in the strength of our bot lane. We will trust that we will make these plays and be able to actually come back from what should have been a horrible, horrible position.
And it is one of those teams where you can, on any given day, say, you know, that's what you expect. There's all-stars all across the board here that we've seen play a lot of time and on a pretty intense stage, and they should be able to pick each other up. And it's good to be able to actually say that as a result this time and not as a hope, as FlyQuest are coming up strong. Dignitas, however, still trying to put up that defense. As this Dignitas, or I'm sorry, as this FlyQuest is just coming out of the woodwork everywhere.
They certainly are. We still have to remember, though, it does get hard for Nidalee in the late game stages. Yep. I do feel. You know, she should be less effective than the Gragas, who's always going to add a tanky member in the front, who is going to add playmaking. For Nidalee, sometimes you can just be relegated to being basically this heal bot. You know, you're throwing out spears, you're healing. It's hard to actually dive in when there's a lot of CC and you can get burst down. So we'll see how Moon is able to navigate this, if FlyQuest feels the pressure to actually push the pace, or if they think, hey, you know what, Maokai's going to be effective in team fights late, Turtle has enough of an advantage, we can go there anyway. Yep.
See what Dignitas can do. We remember what their season was a lot about. The name makes you think of objectives, right? And that's actually where they were very strong this season. Now an objective coming up, and Dignitas pull it back.
And it's the Infernal. This is a big one. FlyQuest trying to get a big advantage here. We'll see if Dignitas wants to pull the trigger on a fight, because they still know Altec is very weak. And they are looking for it. They're trying to set up. Will they actually go in for the steal? But LemonNation engages.
Lemon in. That means High is next. Rooted and airborne is the entire team. They might be able to blink, but their feet don't touch the ground as FlyQuest start to take Dignitas off the map.
This could actually be a Baron here. The Baron just spawned. They say, forget the Infernal. Let's go for the Baron. This is the kind of calls you expect from FlyQuest. High is actually going to TP back in for this. Keane going to have to go back to base. There's 3 members alive. They need to contest this. You can't give up a Baron this early for free.
Dignitas looking to find that in. Shrimp in the deja vu moment
going
from
down
game
fast.
number 1. They can't decide where they want the river. They went the back of the pit. And it looks like both Keane and Shrimp have decided. Ssumday's going to trail now. High looking to bump Shrimp. And this is getting chaotic.
Yeah, the Baron does do a lot of damage, but they're CCing him so they can burst down the Baron. All right, is Moon going to go for the finish? No, they're trying to turn for the kills.
2,000 health is where it can stay, and they will be able to play all day long. LemonNation goes down. Ssumday getting that kill. 1,200. That could be the end now. It's the hit from Moon. They take down Baron. Balls and High are very low. 3 members surround the Moon, and Turtle can't get over the wall to help.
Altec is here.
Now get Altec. Altec is in the fight and trying to slow High. He is hitting a brick wall, though, and can't get through it. The heal comes over from FlyQuest as it goes back and forth, and FlyQuest get Baron.
1 for 1, and the Baron definitely playing it by the knife's edge. There is FlyQuest. Really gutsy call. They go straight for it. They get the Baron. They actually pull off their base timers well enough. With the low health bars of Ssumday, the fact that he's still out on the map, this should actually be a dragon going the way of FlyQuest too, so they could actually get back to the Infernal and get objectives on both sides of the map, reset, and look to push, and that's exactly the kind of lead that FlyQuest would need.
What a crazy kind of quick game here to start things off. 18 kills, 22.5. We'll see this dragon fight again.
And look at LemonNation. The plays coming out from him. Over the wall. The Maokai ultimate pre-sent, so they get CC'd into this. Now the Maokai ult comes through. They're getting rooted up. No way to avoid the Galio ultimate. The taunt still available from High to actually catch Altec. That was layered and prepared so well. This was not just a chance to engage. The fact that you see the Maokai ultimate in advance of that tells you that this is a pre-planned, a premeditated engage, executed extremely well. And then FlyQuest over the wall to kill Shrimp. They say, all right, we may lose someone, and LemonNation does go down, but it takes away the chance of the steal from their opponents, and then they're trying to get a little bit more. May have been a bridge too far, but they're able to actually get out and survive. You know, Turtle just could not actually get over the wall to throw the damage, but they're now pushing in 2 lanes. They're looking to really blow the game open and just get a massive gold lead here.
In that position to make it happen, Righteous Glory on balls. He will easily take that front line to himself as he wants to get the Twisted Advance in range. They'll have Flash in about 2.5 minutes. Looks like they're still going to pressure without any fear.
Yeah, and they're just going to go straight up onto this inhibitor turret. They're looking to try to just pressure this game so hard. High is in the mid lane, has his rank 2 ultimate, so could join pretty quickly. But they're just trying to get this gold. They're not trying to overcommit. We'll see how much they can really get done, because now they can go straight back for the inhibitor, as High just needs to run away and survive.
I was going to say you can absorb these and just take their resources as the team is now going through the jungle. They're the wall of vision and defense. Dignitas hardly owns anything here.
I mean, Turtle's pushing. He's already up to the inhibitor turret. There's no one there to actually answer just yet besides Altec, and that turret may just get knocked down. Turtle's committing for it. He's going to try to knock it down.
He's got Featherstorm if they even try to engage on him. Ball's being just to his left side gives him the strength, and LemonNation is right there on his heels as his Rakan still taunting back and forth. A red buff for extra kiting on the side of WildTurtle, and they confidently try and take this. Nature's Grasp goes out. So much synergy between Ball's ultimate and WildTurtle and the rest of the team. We saw it in the Dragon fight, and we see it here again to disengage.
FlyQuest just destroying everyone's expectations for this series.
Yeah, they are.
They are playing so well together as a unit. This is FlyQuest at their best. Turtle really... It's been a while, I feel like, since I've seen him play so impressively in a series.
Yeah.
This is classic Turtle, playing super aggressively,
and
playing that fine line, and always seem to make it work, right? None of these plays seem to be coming back to bite him. He's playing that fine line so incredibly well, and the team playing to their win conditions very, very well, have extended quite the gold lead for themselves.
2-1-5 this game. Pretty stellar score last game as well, and the rest of the team able to keep themselves on the map, keep this vision up, and supporting each other. You always see him roaming around in 2. Here, a few more, as High knows he can enter with the ultimate. A squad of 4 takes to the top lane for FlyQuest.
I mean, they put so much effort into getting Ssumday ahead, and Ssumday has not been able to have a lot of effectiveness. Renekton not nearly as useful in the team fights as a Maokai, even from ahead, unless he can get backline and delete someone, which is very hard to do because there's so much CC. How do you actually walk through a Galio and this Maokai and the Rakan and get to Turtle? It's very, very unlikely that you'll be able to do so. So Turtle, very well protected, getting a lot of damage out. But this game, I don't necessarily agree with the item choices from Turtle. I think that you should be going for a Last Whisper when there's actually quite a bit of armor being purchased up, from Shrimp and from Ssumday. It's not the same position as last game, so I do think he should have been going for Last Whisper third. And this is a pretty greedy, but we'll see if he can pull it off.
Turrets down, minions in the bot lane have been pushed out well by Ssumday, so they have some time to breathe here, but that doesn't mean it's safe at all for Dignitas. Getting pushed into their second inhibitor down, and 10% HP, it will fall. The mid turret getting hit up by High. They're doing this in 4. High may look to ult over, and it's right on the top of the team. Turtle back to a safe spot as they get the heals and shields in. Back onto Ssumday. He's the focus. Keane and Altec cover each other. The double taunt onto them as High gets in a great spot. Focusing all the DPS down. Dignitas didn't even have to have a chance to pull the trigger.
Ssumday's keeping in. They're actually trying to come with a flank, but yeah, FlyQuest is actually just looking for the end, and Ssumday is not there to help defend this just yet.
An absolutely relentless FlyQuest. Ssumday saying, I'm big enough to try and rout you out of the fight, but he's not big enough to take it. It's a very, very scary back and forth they have to play here as their base is turned to shreds.
Yeah, they're able to keep Turtle alive, and despite the fact that Turtle is essentially that one-man source of damage, if he can get that damage out, if he can have that maximum effectiveness in the fights, as he often has been able to do, it's enough. It's enough for now, and they're being able to punch through this because Altec is very far behind, and Keane has not really hit that 3-item power spike yet. Turtle sieging very aggressively. Dignitas not actually going for the fight before the turret goes down. Makes it a little bit easier for them to get away with this. And Shrimp, nice body slam flash, but the CC unable to be followed up. LemonNation gets in there to disrupt things. You can see the heals coming out from Moon, the peel coming out from High with that Galio ultimate, and then Turtle just wrapping around the side of the fight, getting as much damage out as possible. And Dignitas very close to having multiple members gone down, which would have spelled the end of the game. But here is the TP coming in from Ssumday, does barely pick up High before his recall can finish, and allows them a little bit of respite, a little bit of time to perhaps recover, but the Baron is coming up soon, and they're pushing on all sides.
Bot pushed out top. Gonna have to be respected and pruned up in a little bit here with super minions coming in, but Dignitas actually wants to fight before that happens. They say minions, schminions. We want a 5v5.
They pretty much have to. I mean, if you sit back, you're going to lose both your side lanes, and this is enough minions to actually just kill the Nexus turrets. So FlyQuest just has to back off, wait for the minions to draw pressure. There's no TP on Ssumday. Then they can just start up the Baron, and they're playing this very, very well. Plus, Turtle got so much gold from that push that not only did he finish his IE, but he got the last Whisper too. So he's kind of skipped this weak point in his build and looking very, very strong. Keane needs the TP in, and Dignitas needs a fully committed fight that they win.
This is the one time they haven't focused on Shrimp. He's towards the top side, which just makes me think they want the fight over going for him, and they do find Altec. A large portion of damage down for Dignitas, and it only becomes harder to defend.
I think that's actually just the game. Without Twitch, I think there's no way to defend. This turret is going to go down before they're even back to base. And then how do you actually stop the 5-man squad? They can go straight for it and finish it off.
Didn't even get to mention this was a double TP game from both teams. The fights just kept happening on the front doorstep, face to face for FlyQuest and Dignitas this entire time. And 23 kills into a 29.5-minute game. FlyQuest take game 2.
What a game from FlyQuest. The fact that they actually make this one ended under 30 minutes when they started level 1 with their jungler and their top laner both dying. That was about as bad of an early start as they could have, but the level 1 kill comes out in response from the bot lane of FlyQuest, Turtle, and LemonNation, turning things around there. That was the big story because Turtle had to have a good game as really the one consistent member of damage, and he had an excellent game.
And it must have been frustrating as well. The top lane, so much work went into Ssumday, and it's not even his fault that it didn't happen. They couldn't get together as a team fight. High and the rest of the team was just engaging at points where Ssumday was not. But 6-1 and 4, coming out of the lane with almost 4 kills, it seemed like Dignitas should have been able to use that in a broader use.
Yeah, I mean, they should have. Really, it's about the fact that their bot lane got slammed, right? You know, if their bot lane goes even, if they're not losing so heavily on the rest of the map, they can just play a slow game. They can buy time for Ssumday to exploit advantages in the side lane, but 2 games in a row, he has gotten an advantage or an advantageous matchup at least, and not been able to do anything with it.
Becomes worrisome for that Dignitas bot lane when we were looking at to actually get those wins in as they came to the end of the split, and hopefully they can shake it off as we head into game 3. Let's check in with Dash, Mark, and Jat to see what they make of that FlyQuest win.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. 2-0 lead here for FlyQuest coming out of game 2. But this one, really, the tale of 2 advantages, right? For Dignitas, they found it in the top lane. For FlyQuest, finding it again in the bot lane. Ultimately, WildTurtle's advantage reigns supreme for FlyQuest. They come away with the victory.
Another thing worth pointing out is just that Dig took red side in game 1, so FlyQuest are able to run it back in some sense. They force some change up in bans, but unfortunately Dig is still stuck banning Kalista. They decided J4 of the J4 Rumble combo is what they want to break up, as well as the Rumble. So the Galio gets through again for high, perfect champion for him to play. And then, yeah, the Xayah being the main focus of carry damage in the late game, and he keeps getting fed.
WildTurtle and LemonNation are playing so much better than Altec and Adrian right now. And it's so stark for Team Dignitas because that bottom lane was their strength at the latter half of the summer split as well as in the playoffs. But they are getting obliterated. And I need to emphasize the order of magnitude with which the early game was going to go to Dignitas. Getting the 2 level 1 kills almost never happens, especially in the manner in which it did. And that's not something almost any team comes back from normally.
And it's the champions involved too. I mean, Maokai and Nidalee, when they get set behind against a Renekton and a Gragas, that feels awful just because Nidalee wants to be ahead the whole time, pushing the pace. Gragas gets ahead. Renekton has pressure in the matchup anyway. So when you get these 2 kills in a level 1 like this, it's a disaster.
Yeah, and this was an incredibly risky and greedy move from FlyQuest, which did backfire. Moon gives up first blood. They also burn their flashes, and then they just repeatedly kill the Maokai without suffering casualties for the most part. They give 1 kill over on, I believe, the 3rd gank, but this was what should have been an inescapable hole, at least early on. But I think where they went wrong, and Mark can agree on this, is they continued to dive. This is where the Gragas should have started to go elsewhere.
Right, I mean, it's true that it's hard to go bot lane because during all this, during that crazy level 1 where Dignitas should be like, we won the game, you know, the Twitch also died in the lane during that. So that was a bit of a disaster level 1. Then they continued to push that advantage. At some point, the CSDs were basically mirrored where it's you know, a 28 lead for, you know, Dignitas' top lane, but at the same time, their bot lane's down 31.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And the thing with these CSDs is the bottom lane was 2v2. Top lane was this confluence of events of a ridiculously invade gone wrong with Shrimp diving every second. Like, they put a lot of work into that. whereas LemonNation and Turtle just won 2v2.
And the thing is, too, it's about how important the champions are. If you're telling me that, like, Renekton's going to get fed over Maokai, I mean, you need to get so fed to be able to 1v1 kill him and keep him under his turret 100% of the time, versus a Twitch who needs to scale up to be useful at all. If he doesn't get his damage items, he's irrelevant.
And you heard Xayah talking about that, right? For Balls, it became about just surviving. All he was on wave clear duty. Just don't die to the Renekton anymore. Clear the waves. Don't let him pressure the turrets themselves. And all of a sudden, Ssumday's advantage is essentially nullified. Where on the other side of the map, you've got a Xayah who's a full item up on a Twitch, and we get to those team fight stages, and a tanky Gragas stands no chance anymore.
The one thing I'll say is I understand it's very scary to go into your losing lane to try and gank it and turn it around. The one thing that was working for them was the Nidalee was behind as well. She was not that strong over the Gragas. So if you're taking a 3v3 down there, you still need to play it well. You still probably need to get a chain CC of Thresh hook into body slam or something like that. But you need to stop the bleeding, otherwise you're going to lose the game.
Right. There is a way to get it done on the bot side if they chose to have done it. Of course, while we talk about the 1-2v2 for FlyQuest in the bottom side of the map, I think it's important to point out LemonNation on Rakan, a champion that we hadn't seen him really play throughout the regular season, of course, with many weeks off here, clearly putting in the time and the effort. The biggest play of the game out of him comes 20 minutes into the game around the Dragon Pit and really blows the whole thing open.
Yeah, and this is just another example of how crisp FlyQuest look as a team. Their 2v2 is winning, and the trigger for team fights is so well coordinated. The Maokai ultimate into the Rakan flash charm, into the Galio ultimate. Everyone is doing it at exactly the same time, and Dignitas looks like the team that is rusty when they're the ones that have been playing for the past 6 weeks. We haven't seen FlyQuest since week 9 of the regular season. We've had the promotion tournament, 3 weeks of playoffs. Like, it's crazy.
And the best part was, it didn't just end with a great team fight. They actually played really well around the Baron, something that Dignitas was known for at the end of the season, being the best Baron team. And here they kind of get beat at their own game, with FlyQuest being able to take a relatively risky Baron safely overall.
I was going to say, game 1's Baron call definitely suspect to some degree. This one, while the call itself, if maybe they had attempted to finish it right away, would have been equally as suspect. Playing around it properly, making sure they zero out the smite on the other side, and then playing it cleanly from there, picking up the inhibs, and then it's all, you know, work is done here for FlyQuest, and they're in position to cleanly sweep the entire series.
And they're looking calm, cool, and collected. They're not going like, whoa, we finally won. Turtle had a little bit of swagger. I think he's just like, man, I'm really smashing. This feels great. Now, but the rest of these guys, we were mentioning earlier, they have, if you combine their Worlds appearances, 12 Worlds appearances on that roster. 4 of the players have gone 3 times. So for what it's worth, they know what it takes to get there. It just didn't look like they were going to do it, and they're starting their road.
There's a lot of status over there on FlyQuest. Mark, I want to return to the point you made about side selection. And given that Dignitas had taken red in game 1, were forced to stay on red again in game 2. Game 3, they've elected to take blue side. So knowing that, looking ahead at game 3, what do you want to see them swap up specifically in champion select to give themselves different options when it comes to game time?
You're probably going to want to leave up Kalista and J4 unless both are open. You take one of those two. Probably throw the Galio ban in there instead. Just take them off some of these comfort picks. Maybe the Xayah even, now that you're able to free up a couple of these bans. I think that's the big thing you're going to want to do and move to blue side, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting Kalista. I think they're going to force the ban from that side. But I think they should control Xayah in whatever way they can.
All right.
So force the Rakan, the Kalista bans, take those if they're there, but Xayah is the priority.
A spotlight on the bot lane. Altec, who was previously on FlyQuest, now over on Dignitas, trying to get rid of his old team in terms of the Gauntlet. We're going to step away for a brief second when we come back, we'll see if FlyQuest can take the series or if Team Dignitas can fight back. Game 3 starts after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Heat's actually coming up. This could be an all-in fight, and Shrimp got the kill.
And they're going to get the bounce on him, too. The hit to Moon goes down.
You can probably trade flashes here. Can Galio hold top? Top turret? Maybe. I'm not sure right now. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Dude, nice. You're a fucking monster.
He's going back in for the kill.
Turtle taking quite a bit of damage. This is when things get crazy. Hard shell on. And Turtle waxes the competition.
LemonNation engages.
Lemon, and that means High is next. Rooted and airborne is the entire team. They might be able to blink, but their feet don't touch the ground. The fights just kept happening on the front doorstep, face to face for FlyQuest and Dignitas this entire time. And 23 kills into a 29.5-minute game. FlyQuest take game 2.